Yeah, it's a little later than usual, but better late than never. Let's talk about July. Hey, what's up, bookworms? Mike back with another monthly wrap up, this time for July of 2023. So, guys, we're heading into the final third of 2023. It's just going by so quick, isn't it? In July was another month that just seemed to zip right by. And it's probably because I had a vacation during it. That usually tends to make time go much faster. But, guys, let's dip into it like usual. Let's begin with what did I read in July? Well, I read 6 books. Started one more. I started Of War and Ruin by Ryan Cahill. Did not finish it. That is, so I'm going to go ahead and count that towards August because I was only at like the 20% mark, I think, in July. So I'll go ahead and count that towards August. Won't count it here. But the 6 that I did finish, I will put in my category here for nominees for Book of the Month. But the 6 that I read, guys, obviously, the first one, Gone with the Wind by Margaret Mitchell. One of the greatest books of all time. It was in my top 10 books ever. And on this reread, my third reading, I should add, it definitely cemented that legacy as absolutely, did I say legacy or legacy? It cemented its legacy for me as a top 10 book of all time. And it's just a wonderful book. Yeah, there's some things that are probably going to be hard for modern eyes to read, but you know, it was a snapshot in time of America at one of its lowest moments, maybe ever. And I think that it captured that and so much more. It's just such an incredible book, such an incredible journey, such a great character study of giving me a protagonist that is not really likable, but having you in her corner firmly the entire time. And I think that's just because Margaret Mitchell was just a gangster of a writer. She was just really good. So upon revisiting, guys, still very much a good book. Thunderhead. This is book number 2 in the Arc of a Scythe by Neil Shusterman. And while I didn't like it as much as book 1, I did really enjoy it. I know a lot of people said that this book was divisive. I can kind of see where they're coming from. I didn't like that he kind of got away from the 2 protagonists that he set up in the first book and kind of focused on a new one. But I am still very much interested in the story. I love this world he's created, these questions that he asks, and this society that he's given me here. I've got lots of questions that I think are going to be answered here in book number 3. And I should be doing that next month, or actually this month. But I'm excited to where that series is heading. I've had a great time with it, and I hope he can stick the landing. I know book 3's been a lot of things where people have said like they love the first 2 books, and book 3 let them go. So we'll see how that goes with me. But so far, Thunderhead was very much a nice addition to that world. Nemesis Games. This is book number 5 in the Expanse, where everything really just came together. I liked how focused this book was on the Rocinante crew. That was very important to me this far into the series, and it was just amazing book. The Combat Codes by Alexander Darwin. That was one that was actually sent to me as an ARC. Didn't get to it in time, so I kind of flip-flopped that one and Will the Mini, but I did get to it. I thought it was a very good freshman effort by Mr. Darwin. I think that it was a little bit more of a training book than I really go for. I'm not really wild about that. I know everybody keeps making these comparisons to Red Rising and things like that. To me, it was very, I guess I'd say, Rage of Dragons by Evan Winter meets Karate Kid. That's kind of what I put it as, because you got like that mentor character and you got the training and stuff. But I mean, if you're into the training books and stuff, that's fine. I mean, it's something you're going to really like. I didn't dislike it. And the last third of the book really did just kind of take off. But I felt like I was really interested in a lot of the flashback stuff, which is usually the other way around. I usually want the main storyline, not the flashbacks. But I feel like I was preferring Sego's flashbacks in this and want to know more about that island and more about his brothers and stuff. I want to know more about that. And I think I'll probably be getting those in the sequels, which I think the second one does come out here pretty soon. And then I did a double shot, guys, of Robin Hobb to get caught up on Realm of the Eldlings. I did both Dragon Keeper and Dragon Haven. Not too crazy about either one of those. I'll go ahead and let the cat out of the bag, guys. Neither one of these are going to be my book of the month for July. I think that they are easily 1-2, or 2-1 rather. My least favorite books in the Realm of the Eldlings so far. I would say that Dragon Haven was somehow worse than Dragon Keeper. I've heard that these 2 books were supposed to be one book, and it was so massive that the publisher made her split them. This was one book, I might DNF the series, because I don't know if I could have done it. I mean, I did them back-to-back. Not back-to-back, but I did them both in this month, and it was hard, guys. If I wasn't on vacation, I don't think I would have done it. But yeah, Dragon Haven was... DNF the series bad. And if I didn't have a prior commitment, I'd be considering that. But I have got this far. I'm going to continue with the series. I know a lot of people told me they set up the expectation that this was the lowest point of the series, so not to get too discouraged about it, but it's just got to that point where, like, the entire cast could die and I wouldn't care. And that's just never what you expect in a Robin Hobb book. You expect to love her characters. And it's just not happening with me in this little sub-series here. So I'm going to tough it out. I've heard that the last two books, City of Dragons and Blood of Dragons, are much better than these first two. And then, of course, the Fitz and the Fool trilogy seems to be most people's favorite if it isn't Tawny Man. So I'll be interested to see how I feel about it. But I will be continuing with that. I don't know if I don't know if I'm still ahead of Philip or not. But I did do 2 this month so I can get caught up. That way I only have to do City of Dragons in August. So I have to do 2 this month. But that was everything that I read in the month of July, guys. So let's go ahead and talk about that book of the month. Now, the first thing I got to add here, guys, is I do not count rereads when it comes to book of the month. So Gone with the Wind is the best book I read this month, but it will not be counted since it was my 3rd reading of that book. So what am I going to go with? I think you heard my explanation for several books that I did really enjoy this month, guys, but for me, it was not even close this month. It was a runaway blowout by Nemesis Games, by James S.A. Corey. Daniel Abraham, Ty Frank, their powers combined is James S.A. Corey. What I loved about this, guys, is this is everything that I've wanted The Expanse to be. I have gotten all the characters that I wanted in this book. I have gotten the POVs that I wanted in this book, and I've gotten the big cataclysmic, that's a tough word, you know what I mean. That really big event that really just messes up the entire solar system. That really did happen here to a point to where I think that grimdark authors got to look at this and be like, wow, balls on those guys, because lots of bad things happen in this. But I love the focus on the 4 main characters of the Rocinante. That's something that I wanted more of this. But my biggest complaint about the series at this point is it gives me so many POV characters. I mean, they'll give you like a dozen. Like the book after this guy, Babylon Ashes, there's like a dozen POV characters. And then most of them are a character that you never really wanted to have a POV. So it was like this, focusing on those 4 on that ship, and then giving me some Avasarala on the side. You know, that's what I wanted the whole time. And I feel like I finally got it with this book. And what is amazing about it is they weren't even together. You know, all of them were kind of on their own little side quests. But for whatever reason, it was like a finding themselves book. I really love that. So, you know, Amos going back to Baltimore and dealing with his past. You got Namely, who obviously has some familial things going on that you weren't really expecting. Alex is going back to Mars and figuring things out, whereas Holden does stay behind on the ship, but he has a nice, fun little adventure there with my boy Fred. And I had a great time with this book, guys. I mean, there was not a moment in this book where I wasn't just having a blast. This was everything I had been hoping for this to be so far. And to me, this was even better than the best season of the TV show, which I loved. So, guys, if you've been getting here and you're struggling so far, trust me, when you get to Nemesis Games, you're going to be happy as a pig. And you know what? Because I had a great time with it, and that's why it is my book of the month for July of 2023, guys. The Expanse is really good. I hope you will check it out. And Nemesis Games has been the cream of the crop thus far. So, guys, how about some channel growth? I know that everybody loves this segment. I love this segment. You know why, guys? Because we crossed 97,000 subscribers this month. So that was fun. That's always fun, getting closer and closer to that holy 100. I can't wait to see it happen. 2,053 new subscribers this month. That's down 95 from June, which was a pretty good month. 433,000 views is up 12,000 from June. And 75,000 hours watched, that is also up 3,000 from June. So again, like I've been telling you guys with this, as a content creator, subscribers are sexy. That's what gets eyeballs on the channel. But your views and your watch time is what you want to see going up. That's where you want to see those green arrows if you're a content creator, and those continue to be up every single month. So I cannot complain there. Very, very happy with the pace that the channel is growing. Did get some new eyes, obviously, with some bigger videos last month and in some this month. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. But it has gotten some new eyes on the channel, and I'm very happy that a lot of you have come over and decided to stick around. I love having new people to talk to. Hope you will pipe up more in the comments, and I will try to get a hold of you. And I will try to talk to you on the Discord. If you want to join the Discord, you can find me much, much easier over there. But I digress, guys. I just talked about some pretty popular things. Well, how about some of the most popular content for July? Well, I put out 13 videos, 4 live streams, and 1 short. Yes, the videos is a little down this month because I was kind of planning ahead for vacation, trying to get everything done with work, trying to get the kids taken care of, whatever. So I did go down to like 3 videos a week instead of the usual Schedule 4, and that it might be like that for a minute until I get my life back on track. That's just kind of how things go sometimes. But I still want to try to make sure that I'm focusing on quality over quantity. So there we are. So here are the ones that you guys thought were very, very quality. The best and worst of 2023 so far. This was kind of my mid-year check-in, I guess you call it. I didn't want to do the freak out tag or whatever everybody else was doing because, I don't know, people don't seem to like tag videos that much. But anyway, this one has 17,000 views, just kind of going over, the best books that I've read, the ones that kind of let me down so far. And it's not ranked or anything like that, but it kind of gives you an idea of how the year has been going for me so far. And actually picking my top 10 was pretty tough. So it's been a really, really good reading year. So I think when I do my year-end video that's similar to this, it's going to be very, very hard this year. So I can't complain too much at all about how the reading has gone this year on the channel. Favorite book number 2 in a series or a trilogy. This one had 13,000 views. This was an idea I got from my live stream I did. Someone suggested this, that I'd done, best trilogies, I had done best book number 1s, but never talked about that middle book. And it doesn't have to be a middle book, just a book 2, because I say there are some series that I feel like they don't really pop off until book number 2. People always be like, you just got to get through book 2 first. There's a lot that I want to mention there. But then, of course, trilogies is, get that famous middle book syndrome. There are some cases where the middle book does turn out to be the best, and I list several of them in that video and got lots of great feedback from people in there. And I got lots of feedback. This is what I was hoping for, from people saying that these were series they gave up on. But now because I talked about book 2, they're going to pick them back up and try again. So that was what I was hoping for with that video, and it did seem to come through in it there. The June 2023 book haul, always one of my most popular videos every month, 11,000 views. I always love to tell you guys thank you so much for what you do send to me and show you guys some things. If you want to see what they look like, what the spines are looking like, how the shapes fit, all that stuff. I apologize for my voice, guys. Went on that trip, got back in Houston, the allergies just destroyed me. It's welcome home. You've been in this beautiful paradise for a week. Here, have some allergies. That's what it says to me when I get off that ship. 10 sexiest books in my collection had 10,000 views. And this was aged poorly, because right after I put out this video, Broken Binding sent me like 7 books, which are all stunning. But I did talk about the 10 most beautiful books in my library up to that point, of one of which was the Blood and Fire edition from Broken Binding. But always something I get asked a lot, what are the nicest books you own or something. So I thought it was a good idea for a video. Talked about a lot of those Barnes & Noble collector's editions, which really aren't that expensive, but they're very, very handsome. So I thought that could provide a good way for you guys to spend your money. I love spending you guys' money. I'm not going to pretend. I love it. I love it when you say, damn it, Mike, you made me buy more. I love it because I want you to read more. So I want you to buy more. That's just how this whole thing works. It's just a cohesive relationship, guys. I get you to spend money, and it makes you read more. That's what I want. That's the whole reason I am here. Then I had a pair of live streams, which kind of had almost identical numbers for my 5th most popular video this month. My 95,000 subscribers Ask Me Anything live stream, and my Talk About Nothing with Bookborn. And that was a lot of fun for me to finally, I felt like with Bookborn, it feels like that thing where in high school, it feels like you run with all the same friends, but you never actually communicate with another person. So it was a point where it was like, hey, you know what? We should talk. I feel like we know everybody the same, and we should talk. And we did, and it was a lot of fun. And I felt like we got to know each other really, really well in that conversation because we never had really interacted much before that. So it was a lot of fun for me. I love to talk about nothings when I get to put a spotlight on a smaller channel. But I also like when I get the opportunity to just completely meet someone that people say, I think you would get along with this person. And a lot of people said they thought that I would get along with Bookborn. I did. She's a great, great person. And we talked about Zelda a lot. Anyone that's a Zelda fan is a friend of mine. So I had a great time with that video, and I'm so happy that she, just bullshit with me for 2 hours. That's asking a lot of some people, but I love what she does on her channel. Her essays are great, and it was fun to pick her brain on some things for someone who makes very different content than mine. That's something that I was really, really anxious to talk about. And watch her Rings of Power stuff. I can't wait for her to do Wheel of Time Season 2. It's going to be a blast. Can't wait, because I probably won't be watching it. So, guys, that is the most popular stuff. Do I have any goals for the month of August? I mean, I always do, guys. I am very goal-oriented. I know that some people don't like the numbers thing and stuff like that. It's like, look, I'm happy with the family that I've established here. I really am. I love this community. I think it's great. I enjoy it. But I am always going to have goals. I do work in finance. We do forecasting. We always have goals and things like that. So right now I have a couple reading goals and then obviously an analytical goal. The reading goals is I want to make sure that I stay current on Realm of the Eldlings. I read 2 books in July to make sure that I got current again with my 1 per month schedule of Realm of the Eldling, so I don't want to blow it now. So that and Expanse, I am on schedule. I've already finished the Expanse book for this month, so I should have no excuses finishing City of Dragons this month and making sure that I stay current on that schedule. And the big reason I want to stay current on that schedule, guys, is because spooky season's right around the corner, guys. If you don't know, if you're new here, or if you're not really into horror, in October I read a ton of horror books. That's the time I put a real spotlight on the horror genre. So with me having so many books, it seems like I always start with like 4 or 5 horror books and it grows to 6 or 7. It's doing that again this year. So I might be like, well, I might not be able to get to that Robin Hobb or that Expanse book in October, and I might have to double up before or after. So I'm trying to make sure that I can stay ahead of them now. That way it's not a problem later. And I can't wait to tell you guys about spooky season in October. It's going to be a lot of fun. I got so many great reads planned, and I hope you guys will join me for some of them. And then obviously, guys, the big one here, just kind of keep the focus on that slow but steady climb to 100,000 subscribers. As I'm recording this video, I'm a couple hundred away from 98,000. So things are on their way. It looks like it should happen in September. You never know. You never want to look a gift horse in the mouth. You never want to look at those things like that. But, I don't know. YouTube could have a purge tomorrow and I'm back down to like 95 or something. That does happen. Bots are a thing. And again, like I've always said, guys, in the end, 100,000 doesn't matter, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I feel like as a YouTuber, that is kind of like a christening where you're like, hey, I've made it to 100,000. Great. I can get that silver play button, put it on my shelf back there and be happy. And then I won't be really following this anymore. Anything that I get after that is just gravy, because pie in the sky when I started this channel, I was like 15,000. I never thought I could get up to this high. So it's a little bit of a nice goal for myself, and it'll be fun to finally get there and celebrate with people. I have to start planning what I'm going to do for 100,000. I have some ideas. Think about just doing a live stream and having some fellow booktubers jump on and off with me when they want to, or if they want to. I don't know. I haven't even really decided yet. So let's get there first, and then we will decide. So, guys, that was the month of July. What was your July like? What was your favorite book that you read in July? What was your favorite video that I made in July? What was your least favorite? Again, these things are always fine to talk about here. So guys, I want this to continue to feel like a community that you believe you are a part of, because that is what I'm going for here. I want everyone to feel like they're welcome, because as long as you pick up a book and read, man, you are welcome here. You're always welcome here, and I would love to get to know you a little better. So hop on the Discord, hop in the comments, guys, and I will talk to you there.